Hello everyone, my name is Aman. I am Internet VMware. So today we are going to solve the problem of the day, which is on date 9th May. So the problem is that queue using two stack. So queue and stacks are the data structures. So you have a property that first in first out sequence it follows, and stack have the property like first in last out or last in first out. So that's the property which stacks follows. So the requirement of the question is that we have to implement a queue using two stacks. Uh, so if we say that this is a queue, so queue means that whenever the element is come, it's in the position here, like one come, then two come, then three come. So if there is a request to pop, then one has to be removed. Whereas if we talk about a stack, so one, then two, then three, and there is requirement of the pop put, then three has to be element in if you are talking about stack. So both are completely different. So the requirement is that we have to implement the properties of queue like first in first out with the use of two stack. So one is there and we can use another one. So in the similar way, whenever you are facing any problem, so you can do some paperwork before. As for beginners, things are pretty not that simple while just reading out the question. But after some time, when you have some practice, some good amount of questions, then things will start making sense. So just have a what I also personally feel, and after listening to other experienced guys, so everyone informed me that just give a 5 to 15 to 20 minutes by your own. So if you are a beginner and you are just started with the DS algo thing and you have started just write down the concepts of data structures. So uh, my advice is to just if you have read some concept, like you have read the stack or array, and after some 1 2 days after reading so much about that particular concept, so when you started with the question, so first of all my advice is to start with the just school level on Geeksforgeeks. So it is providing that functionality that you can sort out the questions or you can pick up the questions which are at different levels. So just start with the basic questions. Then if you have solved the 5 4 question there, then move to the one level up like easy. Then if you are comfortable there, then increase the level. In case you are not doing good at that particular level, then degrade your level. So this ladder up and down will help you a lot, because uh, and yeah, maybe there is a sometime possibility that you can solve the higher level problem and can't able to solve the lower level problem. So that's fine. It's because that maybe the concept which is used in that particular problem you don't know at that point of time. So up to my experience, there is only two reasons of not doing any problem. So first one is that you don't know that particular concept yet. That will be a new learning for you. After 20 30 minutes fight, when you go to solutions, then you will read out, okay, then you have a new learning. I suggest to rotate down it somewhere. And the second reason can be is that you know the concept, but now you have forgot that one because of you, as you used that concept a long back ago. So there is only two reasons. So if the case is second, then you have you revised by doing that question, that particular concept which you have forgot now. And that if the first one, then that will be a new learning. So there is no harm in both the things. If you forgot, then it's human nature, everyone forgot after a certain time. So that's the reason that that is the reason that we have to do the questions of that particular concept after a while. So these are the two reasons. So uh, come to the my initial suggestion that give some time, give some fight for 15 to 20 minutes to a question by just paper and pen. Don't start just jumping on the code. So that is not the appropriate way. because in interviews also you have to first analyze the question, then you have to explain your thought process to the interviewer. And so the best way is that just speak loud so that interviewer get to know about your thought process, you are thinking. Maybe you are wrong, maybe you are right, but at least interview got to know that yeah, you have skills, you have problem solving skills. So that is the main looking for them as a candidate or as a person they want to hire. So just uh, use pen paper before jumping to the question. So okay, so let's come back to the question. So this is a queue, we have to implement it with using two stacks. So here we have two steps. So let's start with the example again. So we push one, we push two, we push three. Now we have to pop, then we have to pop once, but it this everything happen in the terms of stack. So let's push the element in stack. So 1 2 3. So okay, so let's go with a bit more with the question reading and then come back with this. So implement a queue using two stack s1 s2. We got go to know that thing. A query queue is of two type. Okay, one, a query of type means pushing x into the queue. So there are certain number of queries. So there are two type of queries. If query is one, so we have to push x data into the queue. If it is two, that a query of this type means that pop element from the queue. So one means pushing an x element and two means the popping that uh, first in element, right? So at as queue suggests. So 5 is the I think the number of queries. Then 1 means pushing 2 into the stack. 1 means pushing 3 into the stack. 2 means pop. So pop means we have to pop 2 because 2 is the first element which we push into the stack. And then 1 again we are pushing 4. Then 2 means last element which we push. So second last element, sorry. So 3 is the element which we push after 3, sorry 2. So we have pop 3. So here is 2 and 3. So in first test case, in the similar way they have explained. So now I think you have some idea. Let's observe the time complexity in auxiliary space. So time complexity they want in a linear O of n, and so they have written down something that O1 for push, then O1 for pop, or O1 for push and O1 for pop. So one function pop or push. So let's explain the what pop and push are. So push means adding an element in in stack or a queue. Pop means removing an element from any data structure, stack or queue. So if we are pushing in term of linear time complexity, then we have to pop in a constant time complexity what they want, and without using any extra space. So okay, so we will go to that part, coding part. First get to know about how by using two stack we are going to implement the queue. So we pushed 1, we pushed 2, we pushed 3. Now we want 1 because we have to pop from a queue, and the first element which we pushed is the candidate we have to pop. So now in stack 1 is at the bottom of the stack. So uh, and there is no way to remove the top bottommost element from the stack. So what the only way which I can think of is that we have to remove the elements which are above 1. So that is we have to remove 2, we have to remove 3, then we get 1 at the top, and then we get a chance to pop it. So now as we are removing these elements from this data structure, so we have to store it somewhere, right? So somewhere means that in the same way they have to be so as they said, there is a second data stack we can use. So for a while we can store these elements in that stack. So we can pop 3 from here and we can store it here. We can pop 2 from here, we can store them here. So now 1 is the topmost element and stack is or we can say just remove 1 also and store it here. Now remove the topmost element of the second stack. and return it if they want to return pop function at a return type. And okay, so we return stack, we return the topmost element. Now as we want this in the same sequence which we pushed earlier, because queue maintain a sequence in, right, 1 then 2 then 3, so we want 2 uh, has to be removed now. So if there is a pop condition, so 2 is the candidate which we have to remove. So now what we have to do is that if we have to make an ideal function to do the similar functionality when there is a pop release, so we have to push these 2 and 3 again into this stack, so that we can pop them again from here to here and then remove 2 and then again pop here. So in this manner the cycle goes again. So okay, so now we have get 1, we can push it from this stack and pop, boom. Now we can push this 2 again from stack 2 to stack 1. Let's remove these. So let's stack 2, 3. So now, and in case like if someone thought that there's a stack, there's 2 and 3, why don't we remove the elements from here only, right? So the thing is that we can do, but suppose any additional number came into the, or push query come again, so 4 came, so where do you push the 4 now, in this stack or this stack? So in this stack then 2 will be in the lower side, and that we don't want, right? The sequence will jump will change, right? So we, and if we do that here, then which from which stack you are going to pop, so that is the confusion. So we don't have to change this stack. Stack 1 will hold the all the element in the as stack holds, then we pop every element to the second stack, then push pop the topmost, then return back. So this is the cycle which we are going to follow, and in this manner we are fulfilling the condition of O of n and O of 1. So just pop while popping we are just n element popping from here and pushing from here, then popping back, and then again. So n plus n means 2n, and in big of O 2n means n only. So this is the one way by making pop function of linear. So they are suggesting that you can do like making push of O of n and then pop of just linear, sorry, constant. So in that way what we can do is that, yeah, so okay, so 1 2 3 are coming, and okay, so push has to be in linear time complexity. So push means that 1 come we push in first stack, 2 come we push in this same stack, and 3 come and we push in this stack. So pop has to be constant in this time. So means whenever there is a pop query, then we have to remove 1 in the linear, and if 1 will be in the, will be at the bottom of the stack 1, then how can we remove it, right? So in the push itself we have to pop all these functions from this one stack and shift it to this stack, right? So 3 2 1. Now whenever there is a pop query we will remove 1, and right, so remove 1 and stack is there. So again when there is push query, so what we have to do is first we will transfer all the stack elements from the stack 2 to stack 1, then push the element, then back put all the elements back to stack 2, right? So in this way we are going to follow this pattern for the linear time complexity of push and constant time complexity of pop. So I have implemented this question with pop with the linear time complexity and push with the constant time complexity. So yeah, so push is simple. So they stack, so let's observe how they have given our stacks. So they have pre-created stack like s1 s2. So there is a class stack q, so which have two variables s1 s2 of type stack, which stack of type int. So two variables are there, s1 and s2, and the two functions are there for which belongs to this particular class, that are push and pop. So push contain an integer as an argument. So we have to implement these two functions which belongs to this class. So these are the stacks. So as function and variables both belong to the same class, so we can use these functions in this particular these variables in these particular functions without creating any variable additional variables, right? So we know that there is two stacks s1 and s2. So okay, so push come and we are doing the push in linear constant time complexity. So we are just pushing x element to s1. Okay, so now the main function came, the pop1 which we are doing in a linear time complexity. So if s1 is empty, means no element haven't come now, so there is no point of running a pop query, right? So we are returning -1. So okay, so if s1 has some elements, right, so we are pushing all the elements until s1 got empty to s2, and then storing the topmost element of s2 in the answer variable, and then popping that element like what we are doing earlier, and then pushing all the elements back to the s1, so and then returning answer. So in this manner we are solving this problem to implementing queue using two stacks. So there is a similar problem which asks to implement a stack using two queue. So approach or concept is same, so you can try that problem by your own. So yeah, that's it from my side for this problem. Thank you.